Tree number 1 of 1,000. The journey begins. Start your playing. Friends, a warm welcome to the first ever episode of Brave Green climbing 1,000 trees. That's right, in this series, I, Brave Green, am going to be climbing 1,000 trees. And I invite you to join me on this adventure. Look at me waddling along there. In this episode, I'll be climbing the first 10 trees, and we're going to be beginning our journey here in the southwest of England, in one of England's temperate rainforests. That's right, there are rainforests in England. Pretty cool. This is a clip from an amazing documentary on YouTube all about it, which I will link in the description below. The journey begins. The journey begins. And so me and Nonchalant Green started walking down this path, admiring the gorgeous greenery. It was a very wet day, by the way, as you can probably see, and so the risk was high, but the bravery was higher. We then saw an out-of-place looking tree and used it as an opportunity to learn how to zoom. Well, that looks shit.
Yeah, no.
After a short walk, we came across some beautiful water dripping down a kind of rock face, with loads of moss growing on it. So I decided to record it with my Zoom recorder, because, you know, I'm a musician, so I gotta get them beautiful sounds. And here's what I recorded. Also got some nice birds. Try to tell Nonchalant Green to film them, but we just missed them. Saw this massive fallen tree right in the middle of the forest that I thought would be fun to climb and get a good vantage point. I don't think this counts as climbing a tree personally, even though technically I'm climbing a tree. I reckon the tree should be in the ground growing, but we can consider this tree number 0.5. Yeah, you can hear me breathing nice and heavy after this first climb. Bear in mind it was slippy, so a bit of a tacky one. But a beautiful view from the centre of the forest here. And I really felt the adventure surging through my motherfucking blood. And so we continued forth through the forest, deeply admiring the nature all around us. We crossed the river and arrived at a gorgeous body of water. Shit was getting muddy, but we pressed on. And it was down this path where I said, "Oh, get a clip of me walking down this path." And so he got a clip of me walking down this path. And we found this almost horizontal tree, which was begging to be shuffled along. Now, once again, I don't think this counts as climbing a tree, but it was very fun. Did get a wet ass though. And sure enough, further along the path, before us, as if planted by the hands of fate, we saw tree number 1. Covered from base to branch in the most splendid array of lichens. It was finally time to climb. How does this work? After figuring out how the tripod worked and giving it a quick test, and of course getting official approval from the forest spirits, we set up and I proceeded to climb, with Nonchalant Green's beautiful flute playing accompanying me. Very special and legendary moment this was. I actually slipped and kind of hit my leg at one point because it was quite slippy, but it was a great climb. Ain't it beautiful? And just round the corner from tree number 1.
Yes, caught on camera.
Potential tree number 2. We're increasing the risk. The big drop. Come get the drop. If I slip, I'm landing right in the seaweed. Beautiful scenes though.
And a piss.
Kind of hard to grip on. And so I started to figure out, how am I going to climb this tree? Everything was wet and slippy, and I knew that this branch would probably be the best way to get up. So I took my jacket off and got down to business. You could call it monkey business. Please excuse the noises I was making. I really don't know why I was making these noises. It wasn't even that difficult really, but I don't know, it was obviously I was exerting myself. But I made it up. And it felt euphoric, quite frankly. Tree number 2. Tree number 2, baby! Really enjoyed this climb. It was climb down. It was an amazing view. Part. Yeah, the climb down is the sketchy part, especially in the wet. But yeah, man, amazing view on this one, overlooking the water. Very spacious. Nice. So you might be wondering, is there a rule about how high do I have to climb in the tree to say that I've climbed it? And I think it depends, on the tree. It's going to vary, but as a baseline rule, I think I need to get higher than the first V, if that makes sense. I mean, this doesn't really count as a V, I would say, in this, because I can just step onto it. But this one's the first one. I went up to that second one, so I can say I've officially climbed the tree. That's the only rule, really, that I've already done. But I mean, maybe if I just keep going to new places, then there's no risk of that.
Good.
Conveniently, tree number 3 was right next door, once again overlooking the water. So I got to work. Tree number 3. Tree number Trez. Listen, I've got 1,000 trees to climb, alright? They're not all going to be big uns. These 3 just seemed perfect for 4, 5 and 6. so I got them done and dusted. Since 4, 5 and 6 was so easy, I had to find a challenge, once again overlooking the water. And tree number 7, I couldn't initially see how I was going to climb it, but I kind of went sideways. I found a foothold just tucked away at the side there. Going straight on would have been too slippy, and there was nothing to really hold on to. So I made my way up to, like this second V. Probably could have got higher in this tree, but it was just so slippy, and it being overlooking the drop, I thought it wasn't really worth the risk. Maybe I'll come back on a dry day, try to get to the top. After our blissful visit to the water, it was time to return to the forest. And of course, we had to appreciate some foliage on the way. We passed some holly, and Nonchalant Green explained to me that the lower leaves have more spikes than the higher ones, and some leaves have no spikes at all.
So cool, I didn't know that. Alright guys, so sun's about to go down. We need to find 3 more trees so we can complete the first 10 trees. So that's what we're doing now. Going on a different path back to try and find some more trees we can climb.
And so the race against nightfall was on. We decided to take a different path through the forest to see if we could find any trees that we'd missed, which could be climbed. Don't know why the fuck Nonchalant Green was looking at this one. There's no way I'm gonna climb that shit. I like being alive. Only joking, it's a nice tree. Tree 8 was fairly straightforward, quite mossy, but there was plenty of stable footholds. And this one, being quite simple, lulled me into a false sense of security for what was to come. I realised afterwards I should have said, tree number 8, feeling great, but I only thought of that after the fact. Yeah, I'm actually a rapper, by the way. Walking down one of the paths that we had walked down earlier, we returned to a tree that we had actually noticed on the way in. And I said, alright, this is tree number 9. It didn't seem like a tree number 1, so I didn't want to pick it for tree number 1. But now we were back at it, I said, alright, tree number 9, let's go. I was ready to make light work of 2 more trees before making it home in time for tea. But little did I know, this tree was not going to be so easy. Yeah, I got bars. Remembering the rule that I had decided on earlier, I realised that really, if I wanted to say I'd climbed this tree, I had to go up to that bit where my hands are. That final V. Had to get to the final V to climb the tree. And the way up wasn't crazy difficult. I kind of thought shit was going to snap, but it didn't. It was getting down that proved to be a bit more treacherous.
Balance. Get my phone out.
It was pretty exhilarating balancing on this tree V with no hands. Hence my weird noises.
It's fully just balancing. Getting down. Getting down. down is a sketchy one here. You get that? Fucking hell. Woo.
You pulled it back there.
Bro.
You saved it.
Holy shit.
It's all about having something to hang on to, right, if that happens there.
What?
So it's all about making sure you've got something that you grip to if that kind of thing happens.
Fuck.
You're right there.
Tree number 9. Feeling fine. Fortunately, I was unscathed because, like Nonchalant Green said, I had something to hang on to. So if you're climbing trees, make sure you've got a solid handhold, just in case your feet slip. And make sure you've got a solid foothold in case your hands slip, if you feel what I'm saying. So now it was time for the final tree. Tree number 10. We decided to reach for higher ground. Big up Hudson, Mohawk and Lunis. We've seen an interesting looking dark black tree through there. So we're just scrambling towards it to see if it might be tree number 10. It's lucky.
What is this tree?
It's got all these kind of ridges which could be good holds, but there's not much in the way of like. Possibly, but I mean, how high can I even get? I could probably get to like there. While this wasn't a great candidate for tree number 10, it was a fascinating tree, and I'm curious to know, what kind of tree is this? Does anyone know? Why does it have these ridges in it? What's that about? Let me know in the comments below. After a little more searching, there it was. And now it was a question of how to get to it. Let's get up there. And so I clambered my way up the hill, eager to complete the mission. Here it was before me, tree number 10, the final tree of the day. You can see how this tree branches out into several trunks. That's actually a sign of coppicing, something I read in a book. Coppicing is when people chop down trees to let them grow back even better, to grow back even more, and so they can keep harvesting the wood. Probably need to get into that, I think, to say I've climbed it.
And you're causing rain to come down from the canopy.
What?
You're causing it to rain by dislodging all the water from the canopy.
That's right, ladies, I do indeed make it rain. And so it was done. The final tree climbed, done, dusted, spanked. Started to climb down. It was an amazing feeling. By the way, next time you're in a forest, look for those coppiced trees. Don't spank them, but look for those coppiced trees. It's not actually a natural way for the tree to grow. This is what I discovered. Very interesting. Humans are part of nature and we affect the environment.
Tree number 10. Done it. Wait, tree number 10. Done it again.
I could have sworn when I did tree number 7, I said tree number 7 feels like heaven. But I couldn't find the clip. Maybe I didn't.
So there you have it. First 10 trees. We did it. Only 990 to go. A great feeling of accomplishment. But the journey's only just begun, guys. yeah, sorry. Ending shot. Epic.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Epic indeed, like I just said. The first 10 trees of 1,000. Got a long way to go, but feels incredible and euphoric to say I've begun this journey, and I hope it was entertaining and maybe relaxing for you to watch. Peace and love. Also, go climb a tree.